Good morning, guys. This is going to be my video where I explain this week's lessons, at least this first lesson, which is lesson 07, fitness. And this is not fitness like you're in fitness class, but fitness in biology. Here's our do now, and just so you know, si quieres hacer en español, puedes, or si tu veux, tu préfères français, c'est ici en français aussi. In English, natural selection is sometimes called survival of the fittest. Maybe you've heard that before. I want to know, what does it mean if an organism is fit? What does it mean that something is fit? Do you think it means bigger and stronger, more able to reproduce, able to run faster, or more intelligent? Choose one of these. And then explain why. Why did you choose that? Tell me what I think it means. So go ahead and pause this video and fill out your do now, because when we go forward, it helps if you've already kind of thought through these things. So pause the video and I'll wait. Okay, I'm hoping that you've filled that out. Again, it helps to kind of think through these things beforehand. So I'll keep going. Today we're going to have a scientist of the day. Hey, Ramadan Mubarak, all my Muslim friends and students out there. I think Ramadan starts on Thursday. I hope that the pandemic is not going to interfere with your celebrations. We'll talk about the learning target. I have a lot of vocabulary since we're starting this new unit. There's a lot of vocab we need to go through. And you guys are going to do like an interactive thing. We'll have a link to that with a little exit ticket at the end. So here's our scientist of the day. Definitely stop. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but her name is Fatima Al-Firhi. She's Muslim from a long time ago. Read about her here. Watch a little video down here if you'd like. Let's keep going. Here's our new standard. Explain how variation of genes and traits in a population affects individuals' probability of surviving and reproducing in a specific environment. So this overlaps really well with the mutations that we just left, where some mutations made it more possible, more likely, some mutations make it less likely that you would survive and reproduce. So today we're going to describe why some organisms are better fit than others in an environment. And you will meet your learning target if you can apply the definition of fitness to determine the traits that will make an organism most fit for its given environment. So here's an example. So we have to all agree on what the environment is. The environment is all the living and non-living things in an area. So here's some dinosaurs in this picture, and I'm asking you down here to list some of them. So here's an example. The dinosaurs. The dinosaurs themselves are living in their environment. You could maybe see some other things that are living, or maybe infer things that you know are there in the environment, and you can list them down here. An example of some non-living things, I think they're kind of standing next to a river there. So I'm going to type in the river, water in their environment, but there's tons of other things in the environment that are not alive, but are extremely important. So go ahead and fill this out. It helps you kind of think about what an environment is. Here's population. Population means something specific in biology. A population in biology is a group of one type of organisms that live together. So here's a population of lions. It's a whole bunch of lions that live together. It's called a pride in this case. This is one population. Maybe these guys are in Kenya. A population of lions that live in Burkina Faso are completely different population. They do not interbreed. They live together in a different place. This right here is not a population, this picture. Go ahead and pause the video and type in here, why is this picture not a population? Or come back later and do it. Here's the definition of fitness. This is why I wanted you to do your do now before. The probability of surviving to reproduce is the fitness. To be successful in terms of evolution, you need to be able to pass on your genes. You want to have as many healthy offspring as possible so that those offspring grow up and they pass on their genes, and so your genes are constantly being passed down. That's what it means to be successful in terms of evolution. And so that's what it means when we say fitness. If you have a high ability to reproduce and make lots of offspring. Is this what you chose for your do now? Fill it out. So here's what I would have said in the do now. More able to reproduce. And that again is because you are fit. We call that fitness because that's what living life. I know that as humans, we kind of think of ourselves not as animals, but that's what being alive is all about. Continuing life. If all living things were like, having reproducing is not that important, life would cease to exist right away. Okay, so today's interactive is all about walking sticks. These insects, here's a couple pictures down here. These are actually insects that have adapted to look like little twigs, little sticks. Um, and so they come in different colors. That's because they have genetic variation for their colors. And so if a bird sees a walking stick, the bird eats it. The birds love to eat these things, crunchy, delicious snacks. If you want to learn more about walking sticks, there's a little link here. You don't necessarily need to know more than any of this, but hey, walking sticks are pretty interesting. So go ahead and check that out if you'd like. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to open up the simulation. You can click up here to do it. You can click here to do it. So I'm going to open this up. It says, let's see, choose 30 seconds to eat insects, and then choose the bush, and then choose start. Okay, I'm going to do all those things. 30 seconds to eat, bush. And then I'm going to click on start. And if you go to the next page, the next slide here, it says eat all the insects you can in 30 seconds. Then I'm going to click the next generation, and the ones you didn't eat will reproduce. And I'm going to do that 3 times. So let's do that here real fast. So I'm going to eat all. I'm trying to see all these guys that I can. Here we go. I'm just going to click on clicking the ones that I can see. They kind of, you can see that some of them camouflage, which means blend in. Some of them are easy to see, and the countdown timer is running this whole time, so I'm trying to eat as many as I can. Let's see, I can't see. Oh, there's one. Okay, here's another one. Maybe not the most interesting thing for you guys to watch me do, but I only got 2 seconds left. Okay, so if you wanted, you can click on the results, and you can see how many survived. So you had 16 of each color. Only 5 of the brown ones survived, but 12 of the light green ones. So there's genetic variation that has caused them to be different colors. They're all the same species. It's like Mr. Murphy and his eye color different from your eye color. All the same type of person. We're all the same species. We're all humans, but we have different colors of hair, maybe different colors of eyes. These guys are all the same species, just different colors. This number right here is the important. How many actually survived? So what I want you to do is click on next generation. That just kind of restarts it, and essentially any bug, any walking stick that was left alive was able to reproduce, right? And so it kind of takes those numbers and just goes, okay, there's only 5 of them, so they'll reproduce, but there's 12 of these, so they're going to make a lot. And so you can keep doing this. I'm not going to keep clicking because you don't want to watch me click. I want you to do this 2 or 3 times at least. Keep going if you want. And then you'll be able to answer these questions down here. So for the bush, which color walking sticks, there's brown, green, or green, were the most fit. If you need to go back to the definition of fitness, please feel free to do that. Oh, which one was the most probable to survive and reproduce? Okay, so which color was most likely to survive and why? Which had the lowest fitness and why? I purposely wrote these 2 sentence starters in different ways because you can talk about being most or least fit or having highest or lowest fitness. Those mean the same thing, so I wanted you to get used to seeing them in 2 different ways. Then go back and click on maybe wood chips and start. Do the same thing. Click on the ones you can see and eat as many in 30 seconds. Do that 3 times. Each time the ones that were left alive will have more babies than the ones that, you ate most of them. There's only a few left alive. They'll have fewer babies. And so you let that play out over multiple generations. You could see clearly which ones are left alive after 3 generations. You'll know that those are most fit because they were able to reproduce. Once you finish bush, wood chips, and bamboo, come down here to the exit ticket. Only 1 thing left. This is a mammoth. You can kind of see it's got these big tusks, bigger tusks than elephants have today. This actually is an extinct animal, not alive anymore. It went extinct in about 16,000 years ago, if I remember this right. It's like an elephant, but it's really big and furry. It's a little bit bigger, chunkier, and lots of heavy fur on it. So remember, pick for me what the best definition of fit is, and then tell me what type of environment do you think a mammoth is best fit in? A hot and dry desert, a cold and snowy grassland, or a coral reef around a tropical island? And once you choose one of these, will you tell me why, please? Please don't forget that when you are finished to turn in these slides. That's super important because then I can give you feedback. And when I give you feedback and I send it back to you, feel free to read it. If there's something you want to fix and resubmit it to see if that makes sense, do that. That way we can keep talking about the work, I will say that I'm wearing this Science Olympiad shirt because as of right now, we're assuming that we are going back to school in this fall. And right now, the plan is there to be a Science Olympiad class next year. This year was only a club, and some of you guys joined the club or you thought about joining the club, but then you didn't. So next year, there's a class. It's an elective, it's all year long. So if you take the class, you won't be able to take CTE, you won't be able to take art, you won't be able to take band. And so you kind of have to decide if that's your thing. Some of you have already emailed some people that I thought would want to take this, especially if you're my students this year or you're in the club this year. I emailed you this information. Please, email me back and let me know if you're interested, or if you're not interested, you're not going to hurt my feelings. That's cool. If you don't know me, or I didn't know you would be really interested, send me an email. Say, Mr. Murphy, I want to learn more. You're not telling me yes, you're telling me I'm interested, and I'll send you more information. You ask me questions, I'm happy to talk about it, and I'll get that information to you. And we can decide if that's a good fit, if you do want to join the Science Olympiad class next year. That's it for this. This lesson is the shorter one. The next lesson's a bit longer. So do this one maybe Monday, come back Tuesday, do the first half of the next lesson, and on Wednesday, finish the second half. There you go. Have a good day, guys.